This week has been a week that is going to be one of those spaces of growth in our church and anticipated growth of where we're going to be. We've already hired a children's director, and we're going to be making the announcement of an executive simulation pastor this weekend. His name is Pastor Chad. And I guess I want to share it from a kind of almost a personal perspective, because God brings people in our family and we're always better together, but there are spaces of time where each life that we have, that in our when we have these intersections of life, kind of when I was talking about impartation, how our lives are shaped by who God brings in our path. And I'm going to read a passage to you about your own calling and election. I'm going to read it from the Amplified translation. It's found in 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 10. Therefore, believers, be all the more diligent to make certain about His calling and choosing in you. Be sure that your behavior reflects and confirms your relationship with God. For by doing these things actively, developing these virtues, you will never stumble in your spiritual growth and will live a life that leads others away from sin. So in this passage, it talks about how our own spiritual growth is going to go to new levels. But it also, at the same time, it talks about how we're here to lead others away from sin. This is something that many times ourself always grabs onto the idea of how this is going to be better for me. You know, when we get married, how's this going to be better for me? We all of a sudden we're having children, and of course that can be a space in both ways. Well, now all of a sudden our children are coming in our life, and our life is living and leading them. But at the same time, all of a sudden we feel more complete. Again, having that idea of self. It's really difficult when we have this nature inside of us called self, and yet we also have this born again nature called righteousness. And in this space of righteousness, God says, make this ministry sure, make this calling sure in your life. And you can find it when you're leading others in their walk away from sin, which means away from self. What is it in the course of your day? Do you even help others? Is it something you're saying? Is it something that you're doing? Are you actively thinking about saying, I want my life to reflect Christ, but also at the same time lead others to Him? Or is my life even at that space reflecting leadership of who Jesus is?